Good morning, and welcome to Toscano's onboarding webinar. We're glad that you're all here, and I want to point out a few things before we get started. If you look at your GoToWebinar panel, you'll see that there are a couple of handouts on there. One of them is New Broker Key Contacts, and that is a list of the people that will be presenting today. And the other handout is a list of our underwriting teams, all of our contacts for our underwriters for our different teams. Another thing I want to point out, we repeat, we have about usually have 3 or 4 webinars a month, and we repeat this one toward the end of each month. And if you look at our calendar, you'll see that. On November 13th, we have Toscano.com 101, which is just an introduction to our website and getting set up on there. We'll have a personal lines webinar, and on November 8th, we have an instant quote webinar. That's all I've got to get us started, so I'm going to hand this over to Melissa Tressler.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad that you joined us today to learn more about Toscano employees, learn more about what Toscano can do for you, work with you, become a great partner, as well as learn our website, which is a great tool that you'll have available 24/7. So the first thing you do when you go to Toscano.com is you land on our homepage, our marketing side of the page, where there's a lot of information that you can see about the agency. You want to learn more about the history of the agency. I'll let you explore that at your convenience, but I'm going to show you more of the toolbox area. So if you log into our website, you can use your email address as your user ID as long as your agency do not share one email address. If they do, you can use your sequence number, which is your 96, whatever your number sequence is, dash that number that you're used to seeing. So once you log into our website, you're in what we call the toolbox area. And as you can see, we have a lot of different rating tools, submission tools. We have an ability for a customer service to be able to service policies. I'm going to take you in there real quick and show you some of the ways that you can service your insureds right from our website. You have the ability to go into a policy. Let's wait for it to open up here. There we go. So you see all the information about the insured itself, the policy, the status, who to contact at Toscano agency if you have questions, how to report claims. And down at the bottom, you have a bunch of tabs available for you that recaps the limits and premium, will show you all the accounting transactions that took place, the schedule. This is an example of a commercial auto. So you have all the vehicles and drivers. You have the ability to issue certificates right from our website, and not only issue the certificate, but you can email or fax the certificate holder right from our website. You have the ability to reopen a certificate that was previously issued. You have a documents tab that will show you the original policy, the invoice, any corresponding endorsements, and open it up right from our website as a PDF. We have a great online rating tool section, and they'll cover that more a little bit as the underwriters speak. We have a great application section. We also have, let me see here, trying to find it. Oh, not there, I'm sorry. We have a great accounting area that your accounting staff can schedule payments, EFT transactions, ACH transactions, as well as receiving commission, direct deposit right into your account for credit balances on agency bill or direct bill commission. You no longer have to wait for Toscano to issue you a check, snail mail to deliver it, and then you get to the bank. It's automatic for you. So it's a great, great tool for you. Now I'm going to turn it over to Deb Stoner. She has been with the agency for many years. I'm sure you'll enjoy getting to work with her. Deb, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Melissa. And hi, everyone. I'm Deb Stoner, and I'm a member of the Casualty Professional team here at Toscano's. Now, it's hard to believe, but as of this year, I have been with the Toscano agency for 37 years. I don't even feel that old. But anyways, I started out with the agency as a newlywed, and our founder, Bill Toscano, who we lovingly refer to as Mr. T, promised that we're going to work hard, but we would play hard too, and we do. I'm also fortunate to have spent my career with an employer that has family values that align with my own. And I'm proud to be part of the service commitment here at Toscano's, as well as our mission to be an expert and to make every action count. Our team would like to offer you our expertise on whatever crosses your desk. Now, we love the challenge of something different, whether it's due to class, loss history, or other risk characteristics. So here's a little about some of the products that our team specializes in. First, we write environmental and pollution-related exposures, and we can write consultants and contractors who have environmental exposures, such as restoration contractors, asbestos abatement contractors, wastewater treatment plant operators, and many other classes. And based on what exposures the customer may have, we can offer GL, we can offer contractors pollution, we can offer professional if they have that exposure, and also transportation pollution. So we can provide the coverages they need to meet almost any contract requirement. And we've also been seeing requests lately for 5 million limits. We see that pretty regularly, and it's something that we can help you out with. I recently quoted contractors pollution for a contractor that had a large spill claim. So we obtained info on what the customer had done to avoid this type of situation in the future. Now, of course, the premium was much higher than expiring, but we were able to provide a solution for the customer. Now, non-environmental contractors are also being asked for contractors pollution under many of their contracts. So we have the products that can provide them with the coverages that they need in order to get their contracts. Professional liability, that's also one of our team's specialty, and professional insurance that can protect your customer against actual or alleged errors and omissions that may occur while they are providing their professional services. So architects and engineers, real estate E&O, insurance agents, accountants, and consultants of all types. That just scratches the surface of the type of professionals that we can offer. Now, along with the professional classes I just mentioned, we've also been seeing a lot of allied health classes, such as your assisted living facilities, a lot of home health care, addiction counseling, and Medi-Spa services. The Medi-Spa includes some of the invasive procedures. So some of the procedures may throw this outside of what your beauty barber programs can do. Microblading, that's one of the latest trends. People want a full eyebrow look, and so basically they're tattooing on the eyebrows for a natural look, and we can also consider Botox. One of the latest fads, believe it or not, is a Botox party. So years ago, people went to someone's home and they had a Tupperware party, but now people invite their friends to enjoy a little wine. A doctor comes into the home to give Botox injections as well. Now, I will say that exposure, that one was expensive, but if you come across something like that, we can help. We can offer GL and professional, or we can do professional alone. So I'd encourage you, if you can give any one of the members of our team a call, we can discuss the risk with you, give you a little insight on minimum premium, and send you the proper app. And we also welcome the opportunity we can work from other companies' applications if you happen to have one completed. Now, as Melissa mentioned, we do have several raters online that you'll have access to. Some of those include our nonprofit D&O, real estate E&O, employment practices, and cyber liability. We also, on our website, in our toolbox section, have a great GL indication tool. So you can put the customer's zip code, the classification, and the rating base, and it'll go through and it'll rate, up to 10 different markets. So you kind of have an idea before you submit. You can go back to your customer with that indication, and I think that's very helpful. Workman's comp. Our markets on this class are constantly expanding, so we can provide quotes on many workman's comp risks that your standard markets may not write, from new ventures to more difficult classes. Some of the ones I've seen lately include health clubs, contractors of all types, hotel, motel, cleaning contractors, and as I mentioned, that we can consider new ventures, so we can consider workman's comp on a risk that hasn't had prior coverage. One that we cannot without prior is carpentry, or a risk that has a height exposure. So if you know of customers that might be in the state fund, it's a great time to see if you can help them and provide them with another alternative. And it's also the perfect time to submit your January 1st business if you come across any. Moving on to general liability. And our small business unit does a great job on many types of contractors and classes. And Jamie is going to tell you a little bit more about this in just a few minutes. Our team writes some of the tougher classes, the demo contractors, machinery installation, rigging, service and repair, security guards, and we also see risks that have a higher percentage of subcontracted work. We specialize in general and paper contractors, and we have several markets that will write that class for you. Our market write the primary and non-contributory, waiver of subrogation. We can offer blanket AI, so we can meet the contract requirements that your customer has. Products liability. We can write GL, including products for all types of manufacturers and distributors, whether it's a medical product or a simple home manufacturer, a barbecue sauce. Keep us in mind. We love the interesting things that people come up with. So if you could give us a call on those. And it just makes my day when somebody says, I have a strange risk and I thought of you, or you're not going to believe this one. There's something really interesting about this industry, and it's never boring. There's always something new, and just when you think you've heard it all, someone comes up with something like a back scratching business, a chicken catching, axe throwing, whatever you might come across. If you have something strange, please think of our team. And I'd like to encourage you to give our team members, Dina, Cindy, Sandy, or Karen, or one of our assistants, a call to discuss the next risk that you don't know what to do with, because we love the challenge. So thanks for attending our webinar today, and I'd now like to turn it over to Jamie Wilcox, who's going to tell you more about the Small Business Unit.
Hi, I'm Jamie Wilcox, one of the underwriters in the Small Business Unit. The other underwriters on our team are Jeanette Harabik and Nicole Beaver, and our assistant is April Hill. We work on your small contractors, 1 or 2 man roofers, your plumbers, your carpenters, anything that just is your small 1 to 2 man operation. We also have a really nice program for remodelers. We will also write your vacants up to $500,000 for commercial building limits, and we write all of your vacant dwellings. Both the contractor and the vacant classes have a rater on our website that you can go in, and it'll present you a quote. If there's anything that makes it submit into us, we take a look at it, come back to you with questions, or we'll release the quote once we take a look at it. But you will have a quote that you can present right then and there to your applicant. The contractor rater is currently only for Pennsylvania. However, the vacant rater is for multi-states. The SBU will also write your special events. We can do the 5Ks, weddings, graduation parties, bridal showers, gun bashes, are just a few examples of special events that we take a look at. We can write them GL only, we can write them GL and liquor, and we can even write them the liquor only if need be. Our bread and butter here in the small business unit are our daycares and our beauty salons. As Debbie told you, they will take a look at the ones that have the microblading or anything beyond your normal salon, but we can typically write a BOP for both a daycare and a beauty salon. We can include tanning on the beauty salons as well. The daycares start around $500 and the beauty salons can start around $350 if they qualify for the admitted BOP. Both BOPs also include the professional coverage as well. Another big hitter in our department would be the tattoo shops. We can start those start around $600 plus the taxes and fees. It isn't a non-admitted market. We can write the GL, the professional, and abuse and molestation on the tattoo shops. You know, every town has a tattoo shop, and most of them don't think about having coverage. So that is one place that you can take a look at that we can definitely help you out with. So if you have a chance, give us a call, check out our raters. We are more than happy to help you out. At this point, I'm going to turn you over to Dea Bradley in our property package team.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dea Bradley, and I apologize in advance. I was not able to get my video camera working for you this morning, but there's a nice picture of me. Anyways, I'm in our property package and liquor department. We're also kind of known as hospitality, habitational, mixed mercantile. A couple of the underwriters that are on the team with me are Joanne Leonard, Marcia Novak, Terry Masirik, and Lily Toscano. We write all kinds of business, and we do a little overlap with both the casualty team and the small business team, Jamie and Debbie's team that you just heard from. I'm going to start with one of the products that we see the most, which is our bars, taverns, restaurants, anything hospitality driven. Oftentimes you will have an admitted market for your bars, restaurants, and taverns, but the higher the liquor rates go, the more likely that we're going to be able to help you, or it's going to become excess surplus lines types of business. Also entertainment driven types of bars and taverns, anything with a cover charge, nightclubs, gentlemen's clubs, fraternal social organizations, so on and so forth. We too have admitted markets for several of those risks, but a lot of our admitted markets exclude assault and battery. And the more that we get into our non-admitted carriers like Westchester, Capital Specialty, USLI, Houston Specialty, the more likely you're going to be able to provide your insured with an assault and battery option on both the liquor and the general liability. We write the property for those types of risks as well, and you also can find on our raters a monoline liquor rater through Illinois Union. The quote is a non-admitted quote. We do have some admitted options. In Pennsylvania specifically, we have Hospitality Insurance Company, a specialty market of ours. They do write direct with some retail agents, but we are their exclusive wholesale agent. But the Westchester Liquor Rater on our website will get you to a premium, and it will also pre-fill an application for you that we can use to remarket to other carriers as well. So some of the other products that we write are the vacants. You may have heard Jamie say that their department does mostly the dwellings and the commercial vacants up to $500,000 total insured value. Well, we kind of take it over from there, and oftentimes we'll get the more complicated vacants. So for example, if you have an insured, my husband and I just did this. We bought a house right next to our property. It was an old farm home. We bought it for $10,000, so we didn't want to insure it for the full value that it was worth. So we were able to go to Toscano's and get a quote for 0% coinsurance on the property for $10,000 just for the building. Now we do that in our department, the property package liquor department, on larger scales. So for example, I've seen risks come across my desk lately that include old vacant school buildings. That's probably the most common one I've seen, about 2 in the last month, where they're doing renovations on the building to turn it into offices or one was turning it into a recreation center. What we can do on those when we call them vacant under renovations, we'll cover the renovations on a replacement cost basis at 100% coinsurance, and then we'll cover the current structure on the building on an actual cash value basis. Some other products that we offer are builder's risk coverage. So builder's risk, we think of ground up construction, and this is also a rater on our website through USLI. So when you think of ground up, there is no structure existing, basically an open lot, and they're just building a property up from the ground, just like it sounds. Right now, I've got a couple of those on my desk. We've got admitted markets for that, USLI, Great American. And so I've got a hotel on my desk, I've got a mixed-use office building on my desk, and I've got a Hobby Lobby on my desk. It seems like there's a lot of construction going on right now, I must say. I've gotten about 2 calls just this week on builder's risk coverages. We can also do the premises liability for that type of coverage as well. And if you have a contractor looking for coverage on a builder's risk, reach out to Debbie or Jamie. Some other risks that we see are habitational, or apartments, dwellings. I've seen a lot of large dwelling schedules lately. We can do student housing, we can do subsidized housing, we can do just about any type of habitational, and we do have some admitted markets for that as well. If you are coming to us, you probably have access to the same admitted markets we do. Some of the names of the carriers are AmTrust and Utica First, so just let us know that up front and we won't go to those admitted carriers. However, we've got several non-admitted markets, and those are typically for those subsidized housing or dwellings or properties located in a higher crime area, or student housing as well. And then other types of risks that we see often are convenience stores or grocery stores. The convenience stores can have gas stations as well. I recently bound a risk in New Jersey for a convenience store with gas pumps on admitted paper with Utica First. So there's some admitted carriers for that as well. And then another type of risk we see often are anything lesser's risk driven. So where you have a landlord who is leasing his or her property out to several tenants. We've seen all types of risks like that, and it seems that the more hazardous the tenant, the more likely you are to come to us, a wholesaler, to cover that type of risk. So I just had one that was a chemical manufacturer that none of my agents in admitted markets would accept. So we were able to put it with one of our non-admitted carriers, and it was a large warehouse as well, and we were able to quote the building on 0% coinsurance because the insured didn't want to insure it to value. He just wanted to insure it to the balance of his loan. So that's about it for us right now. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. My contact information is on our staff pages, just as everyone else's. And at this time, I'm going to pass you over to Connor Patterson. He's in our commercial auto team. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Go ahead, Connor.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Connor Patterson. I am an underwriter here on the commercial auto team, along with Janice Loeffner, Kelly Steffi, Chris Fetter, and Matt Barbera. Janice and Kelly are going to handle all of our fleets over here, and the rest of us are going to be doing your 1 to 4 counts, all your non-fleet stuff. Personally, I've been with Toscano since about July of last year, but I've been over here in commercial trucking since about April and been an underwriter since July. So pretty fresh, so still learning, but I don't think I mess up too much stuff. Here at Toscano, we primarily write all of your non-standard market items. These are the risks that, if State Farm and Erie and Motorists are quoting it, those are the ones that we don't typically go after. Those are the ones that we don't really compete on. We're going after the things that they won't write, particularly your long haul trucking, or maybe some things that have had some losses, things with some younger drivers, things like that. We're really strong, particularly in the local and intermediate risks, but we do have several competitive markets that can handle your long haul trucking too, coast to coast stuff. We can do risk with just about any number of units, anything down from a new venture with one truck or one tractor all the way up to 50 truck fleet. We can do it all. Appetite's really broad. There's very few commercial auto risks that we won't look at. We can help anything with business auto, from contractors, Ubers, food trucks, medical transports. But again, our bread and butter is going to be your traditional trucking risks with auto liability and motor truck cargo. Coal trucks, dump trucks, Amazon delivery. There's tons of those companies starting up. We see a lot of that with box trucks recently. Only really business class that we just don't have a home for right now is we get a lot of requests on the hired non-owned auto. Hey, they don't own any trucks or own any cars, and they just need their employees' vehicles covered, strictly hired non-owned basis. Those are the only risks that we really can't help with. Just not a lot of good markets for that. Territory, based in PA, been here for 50 years, so obviously our strongest markets are in Pennsylvania. That's where all of our a lot of our exclusive contracts are going to cover Pennsylvania and Maryland too, including National Casualty, and then we exclusively represent Eastern Atlantic in Pennsylvania and Maryland. In recent years, though, we've expanded to about every state in the region, all along the Atlantic coast and out to Illinois. We also have Canal in Texas, and we can go all the way down to South Carolina on non-fleet stuff with Canal as well. Regarding our other markets, all of them, we had Eastern Atlantic, National Casualty, NICO, Canal, Nationwide E&S, Carolina Casualty, several different markets for excess, Hallmark, NPA. We have access to quite a few. Our best contract by far, though, is going to be our one with Eastern Atlantic. We're their exclusive representative in Pennsylvania and Maryland. We have a lot of agents that come to us exclusively for that. They're really competitive. If they put a quote on the table, it's very unlikely that we lose it. They're looking for your really experienced risks, clean, and when they put a quote on the table, it's really unlikely that we lose that account. National Casualty is another great one for us, and we have access to them in Pennsylvania and Maryland. And they're similar to Eastern Atlantic in a way. However, they will do long haul for us now, which is really great. But they're going to be looking at your cleaner risks with a few years of experience, preferably 2 or 3. And we have a really good success rate with them too. Our most popular market, and one that we use every day, is going to be NICO, and that's not exclusive to us. We're a dime a dozen. Get wholesalers have access to them, but we have access to them in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and as of a few weeks ago, we have access to Ohio now too, which is awesome. For fleet, we can access them in any state that we're licensed in, and you can see that on the front page of the Toscano website, where you see that big, nice map with all the green going on the states. That's pretty much the states that we have access to NICO in for the fleet side of things. Advantage of us coming to NICO over other wholesalers that have them is we have some really great relationships over there. I can pick up the phone and call 3 or 4 different underwriters if we need something that needs to be rushed along, if we need something that needs to be approved that might be borderline. We really like our chances and our success rate with getting some stuff through to them that maybe some other people can't. One of the markets I'm most excited about personally is our relationship that we formed last year with Canal. They specialize in long haul risks. They really like at least 1 year in business right now. Last year, or this year, they did open up brand new companies to us, guys with no prior experience. They had a premium cap, and we've hit that for the year, but next year we'll be right back to being able to write those. And we have access to them in all of our states except for New York, New Jersey, and some of the deep south states, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia. Our contracts do not extend down there, but they go as far south as South Carolina, which is great. And then for fleets, and these are for your really hard to place risks that are some of your larger ones. We have a market, Nationwide E&S, which is similar to National Casualty. It's on National Casualty paper. They're going to look at 5+ power units, minimum premium $50,000. These are the ones that we think of these guys as a market of last resort. These, if your clients have some pretty bad loss histories or some pretty bad safety scores, we'll be able to approach Nationwide E&S and hopefully get some option on the table. In addition to that, we have some other specialty markets. Rock Hill Insurance, for instance, can handle fuel distribution for us. They're not available to us in Pennsylvania, unfortunately, but any other non-coastal state that we're licensed in, we can go to Rock Hill for fuel distribution. And that's Kelly Steffi is going to be the underwriter for all of those risks. Getting away from the packages, we have access to lots of other options for physical damage, cargo. You have livestock risks, workers' comp, excess, truckers' GL. We can do pretty much anything in the transportation space. I know one of the things I'm seeing a lot more of recently is including transportation, pollution, and general liability with 5 million limits. I know Deb Stoner hit on that earlier. We work really closely with Deb and Dina and all the other underwriters and casualty when we get our tankers in. We have a really great transportation pollution policy that we can put together and pair that with NICO on the auto liability side and get those risks taken care of. And there's a lot more that we can do on the monoline cargo side with Great American, Hartford, Evanston. We also have access to Allianz as well. We can do some cargo with some of your bigger accounts. But please, if you ever have any questions about what we can do, what markets we have access to, if you're looking for premium indications, please reach out to any of us. We are happy to help. My phone is always on. I'm on the phone all day long. If you have any questions, please give me a call. I'm happy to talk through whatever you have on your desk. And now I think we're going to pass this one off to Carrie Bush and our personal lines team.
Thank you, Connor. And as you mentioned, I am Carrie Bush, and I'm one of the 3 underwriters in the personal lines department. Before I even start about what we can do, if you're looking for somebody to talk to something outside of insurance, hockey is my specialty. So I'm the hockey guru of the office, as many will call me. I only became an underwriter here in March of this year, but I've been in the personal lines department for almost 3 years now. Judy Britton and Deborah Belcher are the other 2 underwriters in my department, and Kelsey Ray is also a current underwriter, but she will be moving to commercial in January. The manager of our department is Nadine Rosenstill. Any of my members of my team, along with myself, are always available via the email or phone to discuss something that you have on your desk. So before getting into what we're able to quote in personal lines, I would also like to mention for any new business in our department that we are completely direct billed here. We have several lines of business that we're able to quote, but I have a few that I'd like to touch on that and point out to you that are on our website. One of the biggest lines in the personal lines department is our personal umbrella. We all believe that everyone should have a personal umbrella, as you never know what could happen and somebody could sue you and your family, and an umbrella would just protect you on top of your other policies that you have. We're able to write estates, include LLCs. We have these in almost all of the states that we're licensed to write in. Our umbrella comparative rater allows for you to rate our 3 major companies that we have in personal lines department, and those include RLI, Hudson, and USLI. The rater is going to ask you for the number of dwellings, the number of autos, the driver information, your underlying policy information to get the best quote for you. As long as the risk meets the criteria, you will receive a quote from all 3 companies or the companies that qualify at the very end. Some reasons you may not be able to obtain a quote would be if there's accidents or violations. There's a question regarding if it's a high profile or a celebrity, which would cause it to refer out to us, or if they have a business auto. We are still able to quote these, but we have to approach the markets ourselves and explain the situations. Another popular feature on our website for the personal lines department is the online homeowner and dwelling submit. This allows you to fill out all the information that we need to quote without physically filling out an application. We are able to quote these with most of our markets as it has all the information we need, like your updates and the limits you're requesting and any like polls and knob and tube and everything. So it gives us as much information as our companies need. And we are able to quote your HO4s, your HO6s, as well as your HO3s, HO5s, HO8s. When it comes to dwelling fires, we also have markets that we can write both your DP1s and your DP3s. Just so you're aware, with both the homeowner and the dwelling fires, these aren't just going to be your typical surplus lines submissions. We can also write your same stuff that you're sending to State Farm or Erie. We have several markets that take your homes that show pride of ownership, Philadelphia contribution ship being one of those. Aside from the dwelling fire and homeowner submit, we have a couple other large lines of business that have been popular recently, and those are your builder's risks, mobile homes, and your high package value markets. We have several markets that we are able to quote your residential builder's risks, which they can be for your new construction or somebody that's doing a thorough renovation on the dwelling. The majority of our companies will actually allow for you to have the builder's risk on the policy, and then once it's completed, take it off and keep it as your dwelling fire or your homeowner's policy. So you don't have to worry about canceling that policy and rewriting a new one once the builder's risk is complete. As far as mobile homes, we have several markets that we can approach, and those would be American Modern, Aegis, Scottsdale, and Windsor Mountjoy, 3 of which are admitted markets, Scottsdale being the only non-admitted market there. When it comes to your high value packages, we have Chubb and AIG, which we're able to quote the insured's primary home, along with their autos, valuable articles, secondary homes, rental dwellings, and an umbrella. There are also several lines of business that you're able to call USLI directly and do a quote over the phone, and those are not limited to, but include your in-home businesses such as your LuLaRoe and Avon and such, your comprehensive personal liabilities, your excess comprehensive personal liabilities, and also excess umbrellas. As I discussed, these are just some of the lines that Personal Lines is able to quote for you. I look forward to anybody reaching out to any of us on the underwriting team, and I'm going to pass it back to David Young.
All right, that wraps us up for today. So thank you all for attending, and be on the lookout for an email. I'll send you an email this afternoon with some key documents that have the contact information in it, along with a video of the webinar if you need to review anything else that was in it. So thanks again for attending. Have a great day.